Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody. I want to first off celebrate and congratulate anybody who's just coming in to listen, coming out of the Perfectionism Detox Challenge. You guys did an incredible job, and I'm so glad you're here. And for everybody else, I also celebrate that you're here. You're listening about how to make your brain more vibrant. And that will do so many things for you because the brain is really the springboard to everything that you want to experience in life. So if you want to experience less overwhelm, which is today's topic, and less stress, and if you want to experience joy and fulfillment and increase your capacity, it all comes down to the fitness of your brain. And so that's what life is about. As you know, I believe life is meant to be enjoyed and you are meant to feel good, and your brain is the springboard for that. And the more vibrant your brain, the more efficient, the more it is functioning as it was designed to function, the greater capacity you'll have in your life, the greater emotional capacity, the greater physical capacity, the greater mental and cognitive capacity, and even the greater spiritual capacity. So welcome to our Vibrant Brain Monday, and this is the root cause of overwhelm and stress and how to feed your brain to break through that. If I'm just meeting you, I'm Leah Lund, and I am the creator of One Whole Health and the Vibrant Woman program. So let's dive in. What is the root cause of overwhelm? Well, overwhelm and stress obviously have many contributing factors. What's going on in your life, the people around you, the amount of workload that you have, how you're handling it, all of those things can create overwhelm. There's emotional overwhelm, there's mental overwhelm, and anytime you stay in a prolonged state of overwhelm, it's going to lead to more and more stress, which affects not only your mind, but it affects your body as well. And go ahead, as you're coming in, just say hi. And if there's something specific you want to know about overwhelm, I'd love to have you put that in the chat box and I'll address it here. So overwhelm, there's many causes, but it comes down to your capacity to handle what is going on around you. And the solution to overwhelm is never changing things on the outside, because we really can't control that. It's our processing and our capacity. And the very, very root of that, you might think it's your personality or your tolerance or your temperament, and it's none of those. The very root cause of overwhelm is actually biochemical. We have 4 main neurotransmitter types that are largely responsible for how we feel and how we operate on a daily basis. And there is a beautiful brain chemical called GABA, whose job, I think of it as a person, whose job is to keep us from being overwhelmed and from being stressed. And GABA, the chemical, the neurotransmitter GABA, also really protects our adrenals so that the adrenals can kick in and help us when there is a true and present and deeper stress, cause of stress, but the everyday balance comes down greatly to our GABA flowing in the moment, and also to our GABA reserve. So these 4 types of neurotransmitter chemical, I literally picture 4 little brain gas tanks in our brain, and each one of them needs to be pretty much full so that if something unexpected comes along, you have extra to pull on. So when you've been pulling and draining your GABA tank, and then extra pressure and stress comes along in your life, you will more and more frequently draw from the reserve, and then your brain gets into a state where it just can't keep up. It's making some, but there's a deficit in your reserve, and so you can't keep up with your GABA production. Over time, this can leave you feeling quite stressed and quite overwhelmed, and can affect your adrenals. So here's some questions to ask yourself. Do you feel overworked, pressured, or deadlined? Do you have trouble relaxing or loosening up? Even when it's the weekend, even when it's time that you could actually relax, do you physically and emotionally and mentally have a hard time doing it? Does your body feel stiff and tense and tight? Are you easily upset or frustrated or just snappy, especially under stress? Do you find yourself snapping at the people around you, even when you don't really intend to be? Do you feel overwhelmed or like you just can't get it all done? Do you feel weak and shaky? Sometimes physically weak and shaky. Are you sensitive to bright lights and bright noise and smells? Like, do they really, really bother you and you find that you're wearing dark glasses a lot, or keeping your curtains, all of your windows covered to keep out the light? Do you feel significantly worse if you skip meals or you go without eating for too long? Then you get even shakier. And do you find that you're using substitutes to make yourself feel better? It could be tobacco, could be food, could be drugs, but things to help you relax and calm down. And drugs can be prescription drugs as well. All of these are signs of a GABA deficiency. And again, when you're depleted in your GABA, you can expect to feel overwhelmed. That's a classic symptom of low GABA. But the good news here is, and then the longer that goes, your adrenals will probably become fatigued as well. The good news here is that you can feed your brain to get starting to produce the GABA. And if you use a special kind of nutrition, you can actually catch up on that deficit. So don't stop doing all the things that can help from a mental and emotional standpoint, like prioritizing, better organizing your day, saying no to some things, not taking on too much. All of that is fantastic. And at the same time, start to feed your brain to make this chemical of GABA. So how do you do that? There's two types of nutrition. Once you become depleted, you're going to need targeted neuronutrition. And then to maintain it, you'll need maintenance. You'll need the maintenance plan of feel-good nutrition. So let's start with the feel-good nutrition first. So feel-good nutrition, when things are full, when your GABA tank is full, how do you keep it full? You keep it full by eating enough protein, 20 to 30 grams of protein. You also keep it full by getting a wide variety of phytonutrients in all different colors of plant foods. So vegetables and fruits, all different colors. The lower glycemic, the better, because there is a relationship between your cortisol level and your blood sugar. And the cortisol put out by the adrenals can get taxed when you're feeling overwhelmed. So try to keep the lower glycemic fruits and vegetables, but a wide variety of them. And then good fats like saturated fats and omega-3s. Those are the three most important macronutrient sources to supply your brain with the raw materials that it needs to make a neurotransmitter like GABA and the other amino neurotransmitters. So protein is the key, because the building blocks of protein are amino acid. And your brain needs those to regularly put out these molecules of neurotransmitters like GABA. So what happens when you become depleted? Can you just get a little bit better at eating your protein and your fats and then cut out the sugar and the caffeine and the alcohol and things that deteriorate your production of the neurotransmitter? Probably not, is my answer to that. This is maintenance. So the maintenance plan is to eat the feel-good foods I've described and cut out the foods that sabotage your neurotransmitter production, like caffeine and white flour products and sugar in all its forms, including the liquid one. All of that deteriorates your production of not just GABA, but the other four neurochemicals as well. That's the maintenance plan. If you are depleted, you need something more than the maintenance plan, and that is a targeted neuronutrition plan. By targeted, I mean designed specifically for you, because you are all individuals. All of us are, all of our brains are, and it's a combination of amino acid, vitamin, and mineral in supplement form so that you can get a high enough dose to help the brain make up that deficit, fill the gap. And then you're making a good flow of those neurotransmitter molecules, and you're storing some in reserve. And over a period of time, most of my clients need to be on their custom protocol around 5 or 6 months. You restore the reserve, then your maintenance plan will carry you through. So GABA's root cause, overwhelm's root cause, is low GABA. There are certainly other factors that then make it worse. In fact, stress itself is a major reason that we become depleted in GABA. And so to break through your overwhelm and your feeling of being overstressed, you need to have the nutritional foundation and then change some of your patterns of thinking and how you operate. This builds your capacity, but it starts with repairing that very critical, very foundational root cause of overwhelm, which is your GABA level. So today I invite you to take our self-scoring brain chemistry assessment, because this is how you'll know for yourself right now, are you depleted or not? I'm putting the link to that assessment in the in the comments here. It's 40 different symptoms that cover all 4 neurotransmitter areas, and you rate them on a 1 to 10 scale. Anything, absolutely any of those 40 symptoms, if you experience them higher than a 5, and this is a 1 to 10 scale where 10 is you experience it often and intensely, anything over a 5 is a sign of depletion that can be corrected first with the targeted foundational nutrition, the targeted neuronutrition, and then maintained with your feel-good foods. And when you fill out the assessment, it's yours so that you know what's going on with yourself. And if you're interested in a customized repair plan, then it directs you on how to reach out about that as well. So there's so much you can do to break through the root cause of overwhelm and stress. And you deserve it, because life is meant to be enjoyed, and you are meant to feel good and to live and be your most vibrant. Thanks for joining us.